What's going on, guys? This is Moonchild, the dude no way, and today I'm going to show you how to make Cloudstrike feel like the crispiest sniper in the game. Season of the Chosen is upon us, and there has literally never been a better time to be a sniper main in all of Destiny 2. This video features a build for all three classes, so whether you're a Titan, Warlock, or Hunter, you've got a sick setup to take dudes' heads off with. To start, we're going to head over to our trusty chart of varying tiers of PvP confidence. All of the setups we're covering today are perfect for the eye pop off tier because to make this sniper go boom, you gotta hit those headshots, man. If you didn't know, Cloudstrike is an exotic sniper that drops from Empire hunts. The higher the difficulty, the better the chance to get the drop. It took me about an hour of these to get mine, and you should 100% go get this if you haven't already. Its exotic perk, Mortal Polarity, creates a lightning bolt that drops from the sky on anyone you kill with a headshot. In PvP, if two or more guardians are close together, they're all going down. You start to feel like Zeus, chucking lightning bolts left and right, and the multi-kills, man. There are a lot of multi-kills. It's insanely good, and Season of the Chosen is the perfect time to take advantage of it because literally every sniper mod you've ever wanted is present on the artifact this season. All of the builds we're covering today double slot scout and sniper targeting because this gives Cloudstrike a boatload of extra aim assist. This is ridiculous on controller, but even us over here in mouse and keyboard land are gonna notice a difference between having these on and not. They make it sticky, and that's step one. Sniper dexterity gets a spot on our gloves because having a faster ready speed is almost like having quick draw. On your chest, double slot unflinching sniper aim because you don't want to be flinched off target, and the cherry on top is sniper scavenger for only 1 energy. This is crazy, man. All of the sniper perks are on the artifact right now and for next to no cost. How you guys feel about that? Do you think it's a good idea to put all the mods for one particular type of weapon on the artifact and then switch it up every season? Leave me a comment, let me know. I want to see where your head's at with that. It could be a cool idea, but I feel like it could get real stale if they pick the wrong weapons, so we're just gonna have to see how it goes. In addition to the sniper stuff, all three of these builds are running the Charged with Light mods, Taking Charge, Precision Charge, and High Energy Fire. To become charged with light, we can either pick up an orb of power or get a double kill with our primary, and when we're charged, our handcannon hits for 108 a crit. Speaking of, today we're running with a steady hand, which you can get from Iron Banner. I like this role because Wellspring works like a tiny Traveler's Chosen and gives ability energy where I need it every time I get a kill. This season, Bungie took away the handcannon targeting mod, which makes moving target a considerably stronger choice now that we don't have much else to buff our aim assist. Moving target's gonna do that for us and buff our strafe speed to help us win those primary duels. When we're charged with light, those 108 damage bullets from steady hand are enough to 2-tap anyone who doesn't have an overshield. And let me tell you something, dude, I like to 2-tap. It's fun, and that's why all the builds we're running today have the fragment Whisper of Hedrons. Hedrons is like high energy fire, but with a fatter ass, because for 10 seconds after freezing a target, every gun you've got now deals 25% more damage, 5% more than being charged with light, and now Cloudstrike can dome just about any super in the game. I know this is a lot of information, so don't worry. In a minute, I'm going to give you a nice little graphic with everything laid out nice and clean. Something you can screenshot with your phone so you don't have to remember everything I'm talking about. I know that helps, and I want you boys to succeed out there, so fear not, I got you covered. Radiant Light and Powerful Friends made their way into these builds for a number of reasons. First off, having these in combination makes you charged with light when you pop your super. This is yet another way to keep a damage buff up, and you should keep that in mind. Don't die in your super, because after it ends, it's 2-tap time. The Stasis melee abilities are all crazy strong, so that extra 20 strength is going to come in clutch. You need to activate these by slotting an arc mod, so picking up Outreach doubles down on the melee recharge idea. The sniper playstyle relies heavily on strafing in and out of cover, and the 20 mobility from Powerful Friends is going to help us do that better. For our heavy, honestly, just run whatever you want. It's heavy, you point it and shoot, and things die in one hit. I messed around with rocket launchers a little bit before I decided just to go back to my grenade launcher. Use whatever you like, it'll be fine, it has minimal impact on this build. Now we're going to move on to the specific classes with their builds and playstyles, and if you like what I've done so far, be a dude and give it a thumbs up. I'm going to put timestamps on the screen, in the description, and the pinned comments if you decide you want to skip ahead, but watching all the way through is going to give you the most insight into both your enemies and your teammates' mindsets. We're going to start with Hunters, and for my Space Cowboys, I recommend running the Dragon Shadow. This is one of the best exotics in the entire game. When you dodge, you activate the perk Wraith Metal Mail, which lasts for 10 seconds and gives a ridiculous 50 mobility. It also gives all of your guns quick draw, and snapshot, and fast reload, and if somehow all of that weren't enough, dodging also reloads all of your equipped weapons. Now you can use Gambler's Dodge to get melees back when you're close to enemies, and the fact that it reloads all of your weapons is like Marksman Dodge on steroids, and with Cloudstrike, anytime this buff is up, you're basically running with 100 handling. Fully maxed. Quick draw and snapshot, son. To keep this up, you would normally want to push your mobility, but the amazing thing about Dragon Shadow is that extra 50 from Wraith Metal Mail is giving you max dodge recharge with only 50 points of mobility from your gear. Powerful Friends grants 20 on its own, and now you only need 30 mobility to make sure your dodge comes up as often as it possibly can. 30. You can literally get 30 by accident. Oh, and don't forget that your melee ricochets. This season, Bungie made it so that the shurikens can't deal critical damage anymore, but they do a flat 90 damage no matter where you hit. You want to use that to 2-tap people with your handcannon. Before you enter a fight, throw your shuriken to prime the enemy, and now when you slide in, that dude's gonna die in 1 crit and a body shot. If you have Hedrons active, after the melee, it's 1 headshot to kill, and with high energy fire, you can do that to Guardians up to 8 resilience. I recommend running Whisper of Hedrons because you're going to be using shurikens often, and they apply 6 stacks of the slow debuff. While that's active, the enemy accuracy cone is bloomed all the way out. They're lucky if they can hit you twice, and Hedrons not only gives you a faster melee cooldown, but it makes the slow effect last 4 seconds. That's more than enough time to take them out and move on to the next engagement. When you defeat a slow target, both Whisper of Refractions and the new Hunter aspect Grim Harvest kick in. Refractions gives our dodge a faster cooldown. This makes the tiny bit of time without Wraith Metal Mail even less. Grim Harvest gives stasis shards when you kill a slowed enemy, and you can pick these up to get melee energy back. And all of this pairs perfectly with the Duskfield Grenade. These working parts together create an ability engine that lets you cycle through melees for lethality and dodges for utility, and in a gunfight you become one of the fastest players on the map. Put on Shatter Dive not for its ability to shatter stasis crystals, but because it gives you another movement tool for your kit. This keeps you alive when you're caught out of position and too high in the air. Because of the AoE damage it deals, you can also use this to finish off targets that are weak. Work it into your muscle memory and elevate your game to the next level. Happy sniping, boys. For Warlocks, the Ophidian Aspect are the perfect exotic to make Cloudstrike feel snappy. Just like Dragon Shadow, they give a large boost to the handling and reload speed of our weapons. It's not quite as much, but the beauty of these gloves is the perk is always on. This takes the place of reload mods, and in general just makes all of our guns feel a lot better. For Cloudstrike, Ophidian combined with targeting and dexterity mods gets you as close as a Warlock can get to 100 handling. You can see on screen the difference in swap and aim down sight speed between no mods and having everything from the artifact and Ophidian aspect equipped. It's a staggeringly different feel to the gun, and it really makes Cloudstrike a top tier pick, especially for 3v3 game modes like Trials where a double kill can mean winning a round. It's really strong, man. I recommend running Duskfield Grenade as well as the fragments Whisper of Hedrons, Refraction, and Chains. The slow effect is already hard to get out of, but with Hedrons on, you're not only getting extra strength for a faster melee cooldown, but now they're slowed for a good long time even after they leave. If you kill them while they're slowed, Refraction is going to make your Rift cooldown faster, and using that Rift is going to give you melee energy back because of Outreach. Push your recovery to get as many of these every game as you can. Use your melee to freeze targets in the close mid-range and to proc Whisper of Hedrons to get your damage buff rolling. Don't forget to use the Rift offensively when shotgunners are pushing you. It's a hard and fast counter to anyone within a few feet. And every time you blow up a frozen target, make sure you're paying attention to where Ice Flare Bolts is traveling. If anyone's nearby, it's going to seek them out, so try to keep that in mind and be ready to capitalize on the next freeze, and the next, and so on. Bungie patched out a lot of stuff in this most recent update, and one of those was the interaction between the Duskfield Grenade, Titan Barricades, and the Glacier Grenade. Last season, you were able to throw Duskfields onto barricades or stasis crystals to proc fragments like Whisper of Hedrons and Whisper of Shards, but you can't do that anymore, and because they have no ways to shatter, taking that away means that for the time being, there's absolutely no reason for a Warlock to run Whisper of Shards. I discovered this in the editing stage and thought it was something worth noting, so I'm throwing it in. With shards off the table, my next fragment choice is going to be Whisper of Chains. This not only gives a +10 recovery, but it gives damage resistance on the level of a super anytime you're near a stasis crystal or a frozen enemy. The tankier you are, the better, and this is absolutely going to save your life sometimes. I've got a deep dive video about this coming soon, but trust me when I tell you, bro, you want this fragment. All of these together make a nice gameplay loop. The Rift gives melee energy, the Grenade gives Rift energy, and the holes in between are plugged by Wellspring from the Steady Hand. Cloudstrike with these mods and Ophidian Aspect is at nearly max handling and is probably the most lethal sniper in the whole game right now. If I had to choose which class does Cloudstrike best, for my money it would be the Warlock because Ophidian Aspect is always on and it doesn't need to be activated. There's no additional thought that needs to go into it, the gun just slaps, and when the headshots start popping off it feels amazing. Titan is last up, and the only class in the game without an exotic to buff the handling of their guns. What the hell, Bungie? Because of that, for my Titan sniper mains, I recommend running the Heart of Inmost Light. I've sang the praises of this exotic in videos I've done in the past, but the reason it works so well for Behemoth is that it offers you fast cooldowns on your instant delete abilities. For snipers, people getting too close can be sticky, but the Shiver Strike melee along with the Glacier Grenade and Cryoclasm offer multiple ways to shut a target down in the blink of an eye. Art of Inmost Light's exotic perk makes your barricade speed up the recharge of your grenade and melee, and synergizes perfectly with Wellspring on the steady hand and Whisper of Shards. Because this build uses the Glacier Grenade with Cryoclasm, anyone close to our wall of ice is getting blown to pieces. Shattering that wall also gives us faster grenade cooldown from Whisper of Shards, and leaves behind Stasis Shards from melee energy from Tectonic Harvest. The neutral game of this sniper build is made to maximize ability usage and keep you safe in the close range. And I want to take this time to talk about two specific gameplay aspects you should be taking advantage of. First off, I don't know if you know this, but as a Behemoth, you can be at the first choke point at the start of the game faster than anybody else. Why is this important? Because you have no way to buff your handling. Being the first person to the lane means you're already aimed down sights when the enemy gets there. To do this, you want to use both your Cryoclasm slides as well as Shiver Strike to propel yourself forward and into position. I missed this target as he came down the lane, but when I heard him activate double jump, I knew he'd be on top of the cube. Then I aim back down the lane and clean up 2 more guys coming out of the spawn. We're seconds into the game and I'm 3 sniper kills deep. This is the time when enemies are most likely to be close together, and Cloudstrike rewards you heavily if you can pull this off right. You want to utilize this tactic every game. Be the first one there. If you miss, you might die, but I've gotten quite a few multi-kills doing this, and I bet you will too. It's nasty, man. Titans might just beat Top Tree Dawn for the fastest class in the game now. The second strategy uses the new fragment Whisper of Chains and focuses on making you harder to kill. With chains on, you get a 32% damage resistance for standing near a stasis crystal, and this causes most guns in the game to have to take another shot to put you down. So now you can use your grenade as an anchor, and you want to put it near any place you're looking to defend or attack. I use it most often on the B flag, and doing this ensures off the jump that you have the advantage on the enemy. Before you even start a gunfight, it's yours to win. 32% damage reduction is enough to cancel out Whisper of Hedrons and high energy fire completely. While you're aimed down sights with Cloudstrike and you start to get shot, sometimes this fragment can be the difference between getting the headshot and getting got. If you're near the stasis crystals, there is no two-tapping you. High impact pulses can't double burst you for a kill, and Lord help the poor kid who tries to fight you with a 180 RPM handcannon. Big yikes. And the crazy thing about this is that it works in super. Behemoth, the tankiest super in the entire game already and one of the most mobile, now has another way to make them harder to kill. Remember, you have this fragment on, and anytime you approach a room with enemies, start with a heavy attack. Wait a second for the crystals to form before you fly in with the Superman punch, and it's good game. You basically can't die unless you really mess up and put yourself in a bad spot. I can't believe Bungie let this work in super, and if I could make a balanced pass at it, I would definitely take that away, but while it's here, use it to become the abominable snowman you were born to be. If you want to have some fun, click the Behemoth controller video on the end screen and I'll show you how to go full punchy boy. Thanks for watching. I am Moonchild of Dude No Way, and I will see you in the next video.